The long-awaited video of my Goliath storage system is here. But first, let me show you how we got here. When I finally decided to commit to using the area back here for the storage system, this is what it looked like. I knew I was in for it. I needed to be able to work without mobs distracting me, so I decided on this wall. The Great Wall of Bacon Crest, as I'm now calling my world. After switching over to polished basalt, I decided it looked much better. But let's skip ahead a little bit. The chests were already placed, and thus began a large amount of hopper placing. Getting these clips perfectly was actually difficult, but it shows you the scale of the project. I felt such relief when that was over. Now, a lot happened between the last clip and this one, but here's the gist of it. It was overwhelming. I had to make 3 farms just for this storage system. A wood farm, a high-end iron farm, and a stacking raid farm. The numbers for this are absolutely crazy. In order for this to work, I had to craft over 4,000 chests. Around 1,700 of those were just for the hoppers, because this whole system works on hoppers. Then came the comparators. 256 redstone comparators, each taking 3 redstone torches. 256 repeaters, each taking 2 redstone torches. And 256 redstone torches. You can see why I had to make the stacking raid farm. I needed tons of redstone. Mining simply wasn't an option, and I didn't have a big enough trading hall to house clerics to get it from them. So I had no choice. And each of those roughly 1,700 hoppers took 5 iron, which is why I needed the iron farm. And lastly, for anti-lag purposes, each hopper with an exposed top got a composter. That's around 300 composters. The scale of this project was insane. When I decided on it, I knew it was going to take a while. But in real life, I had to focus solely on this when I played, and it took me a full month to go from a flooded cave to a functional storage system. The journey was crazy, but it was so worth it. Because I was doing the entire design myself, I had to try a few different ways of doing this until I found one that actually worked. But this is the part I love about Minecraft. We all have the ability to design and create as much as we want. The only real limit is yourself. And I wasn't about to get in my own way, so this project had to be completed. No matter how many times I had to redo it. Until eventually, I figured out the final shape. And all I needed was filler items for the sorting system, which is where the cobblestone generator saved the day. Okay, let's fast forward to today real quick. I know it's a huge jump in the day counter and my levels, but this is the final product as of today. As you can see, a lot has happened here just since the last clip, like my super smelter and a complete redo of the floor. The storage system is actually so big, I have to fly to the other side if I need something from over there. But let me tell you, it was totally worth it. Now, I'll show you the redstone side of this. Oh, and that's the shulker unloader from the bartering farm. Anyway, here it is in all its glory. It's wild to see the redstone go so far. Not to mention the hopper train with all those composters. It was huge. While getting replay mod footage for this very video, I accidentally discovered there was an ancient city right under my base, just 20 blocks away from a shaft I dug when I was searching for one hundreds of days ago. More on that in the next video. But I want to give a huge shout out to ENX04. His stacking raid farm design is a scientific masterpiece. Without it, the storage system would have taken me forever, if I'd even finished it. Just look at the loot coming from this thing. 5 raids going at one time yields major results on a scale I wasn't expecting. I ran this farm for all of 45 minutes and it gave me all the redstone I needed for the entire project. And then some. Not to mention hundreds of blocks of emeralds that eventually would be another way I make beacons. Ian, if you see this, thank you for your dedication to this farm. It was instrumental to my world. That being said, if you haven't heard of him, go check out his channel after this video. His Java Edition farms are extremely effective. I recommend them to everyone. Now, on to the next thing. This time lapse marks the beginning of my next project. A mega trading hall that I call the Hall of Opulence Center for Commerce. Yet another huge project. I decided immediately after the storage system was done to break ground on the trading hall. But this wasn't going to be any ordinary trading hall. I set my sights on a trading hall that could employ hundreds of villagers. During streams, I was asked one question many times. Why? The simple answer is, why not? But either way, I was dedicated to making it happen. The starter trading hall I had was just not enough. This terraform was long, but finally complete. So it was time to begin building. Most of this was done on stream. This project required quite a bit of deep slate, which meant tons of strip mining. But finally, it was coming together, and I finished the build. And thanks to my longtime viewer and moderator who designed the entrance, Cheddar, because it turned out quite amazing. My full mods list, as well as my Discord server, are linked in the description down below. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and happy mining.